Okay. Okay. So wait, if your mic's on, to make sure to mute it. But we're going to be talking about the importance of a big push in your business. Lots of these notes that I'm going over is stuff from Eric Worre video. If you guys don't know who he is, he wrote GoPro, has so many network marketing experience and books and trainings and everything he does. Definitely, if you have not read GoPro, though, read GoPro. But he talks. And I'm kind of going over that, relating it back to Unique too, because Unique is, because we're all, also run mainly on social media and stuff. It's a little bit, everything's a little bit different aspect, but mainly I'm talking about why a big push and a big run, whatever you want to call it. We like to call it 90-day run. As I know what we've called it specifically, like our team and stuff have called it stuff like that. But the big reason of why it's important and like what you'll get of it. So he was talking about how he had talked to so many, maybe $100 million earners and maybe even a couple thousand six-figure earners, like 100,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars earners every year. And he was noticing a big realization with everybody that they all had a big push at one or multiple moments of their career. Big pushes in their business that really got them rolling, that got that snowball effect rolling. That's where they got them to where that is now. So every $1 million earner said that they can relate 70 to 80% of their current income to that one or more big pushes that they did do. And he said the big difference between a 6 and a 7-figure earner is a 6-figure earner did a big push once in their career, and a 7-figure earner over $1 million a year made 2, 3, 4 big pushes in their career, where you work very hard for 30 days, for 90 days, kind of whatever you can give it, but where you push it to your max during that amount of time. So the big thing for him is recruiting 20 and 30 days, which I think is such a big thing. And this does also mean 30 real people working, not 30 people or 20 people that just want the kit, because that doesn't count. Of course, people don't always sell after they join, but you want 20 people who are legit wanting to sell in a short period of time. It could be, around 20 plus or minus a little bit, but having like 15 to 25 people in a very short period of time all join your organization at the same time is a really big push. And that'll really get the ball rolling and get your team working together too. I just want to go over a couple myths that he talks about, which I cannot agree more. In network marketing, which you hear a lot, there's certain aspects that I believe and disagree with and all that kind of stuff, but the slow and steady wins the race. Like if you're just stick with it, if you're just going and you're just doing a little bit every day, that you're just going to make it to the top. You're just going to make it where you want. This is also this specific push is if you, honestly, even if you want to hit pink status, you still got to make a decent push. You don't have to recruit 20 people in 30 days, but you still got to make a pretty big push. But if you are willing or wanting to make it to black status, if you want to make it to the top of the company, even green status, you probably need a push either way, like a big push. But what was I going to say? But so this is the people that really want more out of this, and hopefully this will motivate you either way to get there. And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to work really hard for 30 to 90 days to make 6 or 7 figures? A year or two, that big push will keep you going for years to come. That's the thing is it's not like obviously an instant thing. It's something that these people were looking back years ago and realized that they had these big pushes that led them to now being a millionaire, that type of thing. But if you just do a little bit every month, you sponsor one person every month, you sell $100 or $200, $100, a couple $100 a month, you have maybe 3 online parties every month, 1 every 10 days. Like if you have that little bit, all you're doing is wearing yourself out. All you're doing is drying up your warm market too. That's such a big thing is when you go at such a slow pace, just make sure
dry hump your market.
If you're going at a really slow and steady pace, then you're just going to wear out that warm market. So you have 100 friends, because we always talk about the hundreds contact list, and I talk about that in my training group and how you always need to have a fresh hundreds list. But say you have 100 friends, 100 contacts right now that like the day you join, that you have on your friends list that you can contact. If you are slow and steady and you are doing 3 parties a month and you are just going through, you're just going to end up going through that warm market and not even expanding your market beyond that. Nonetheless, if you're just doing slow and steady, you're just going to wear yourself out, and you're going to be doing that for like a year or 2 years, and you're just going to be like, going nowhere and just tire yourself out, literally. But you can definitely, you don't have to always have a big push to make anything, but you have to have at least a decent push. At least like have a month where you sponsor 5. At least have a month where you have 15 parties going for the entire month. At least have even a smaller push, even to make it to Pink or Blue Stash. Something that's gonna get you over that. But this is a big example that he says, and I've said different examples like this, but like think of it like an airplane. So like you're going down the runway on an airplane and you're trying to get off the ground. That's basically what this is. You're trying to get off the ground and you're trying to make it up in the company. And get your business out there. If you're just going straight in the track and you're going at 20%, if you're going at 40%, you're not going to get off the ground until you hit 100%. Then you don't have to hit that 100% long. Like if you're flying, you hit that 100% for a little bit, you get up to a cruising altitude, and then you can cruise. That does not mean you stop by any means, but that means you can take a breath. When you cruise, that means you don't have to worry about doing anything besides keeping your current market, do some of your live videos, that type of thing. You're a little in cruise control. You don't have to worry about doing that freaking, like 30, 50 parties a month. You don't have to worry about messaging hundreds of people. You can actually have a minute break, kind of, not as hard of a push, basically, is what that means. So you have to have that little 100 push to get you off, that 100% for just a little bit, for 30 to 90 days to get you off the ground. And then another myth is just don't quit. This one is obvious. Like for me, so it's obvious. If you quit, that's obviously you're going to fail. Like that's a guarantee. But just because you don't quit doesn't mean you're guaranteed success. Like you have to have somewhere where you're going a little bit harder. Yes, if you just want to make, $100 to $500 a month, that's, a little bit of a different story. But if you really want to do this and you really think about what you could get out of this, you just have to make that push. You have to think that 20%, I think it's something like 20%, 20 or 30% of your company is always leaving. All your presenters, you're always having 2 to 3 out of every 10 people leave your business every single month. So if you're, say, sponsoring 1 or 2 a month, you're constantly losing those people. Even if you sponsor 3, you're losing 1 every month, and you're really only sponsoring 2. Like you're constantly losing the people, and you're never gaining the momentum. And especially if you only sponsor 1 or 2 a month, if you sponsor a lot of people at once, it gets that like organization going, where they feel like that sisterhood, for like Unique, that sisterhood, that they're friends and they can work this together, and they like to have that excitement together. And that's what's awesome, is when you're going for a run, if you're excited, like you're reaching out to so many people and you get that excitement, because you don't care if you get no, you're just reaching out to everybody you can in this small period of time. You're reaching out to everybody, you're excited to share the opportunity. You're gonna get more people to say yes, first off, when you have that excitement. And then when so many people say yes to the opportunity, or whatever it is at the same time, then they all have each other to kind of lean on, and then they have that excitement to all run at the same time. Especially if you're in the middle of a run, they want to run with you. Okay, if you're just walking, like you lead by example as a leader. If you're a leader of 1, if you're a leader of 100, it doesn't matter how many team members you have. If you have 1, you have a team. Like you lead by example, and if you want them to work, you have to work. You can't expect them to do anything you're not. Sometimes people you will always work harder. That's, sometimes they just have the motivation themselves or whatever, but they like to see what you're doing, and they like to work with you and push with you. So go through my notes. I went through all that. But success loves speed. This is something I've said so much, but I hope if you have not heard that, success seriously loves speed. Again, it has to do with the excitement aspect. And if you have so many people, so this is what they say. So this is why, that's why he said 20 in a short period of time, 20 within 30 days about to recruit. Why? He said because everybody he talked to, that was the big number. For all the $1 million earners, that they sponsored that many people. And on average, if you sponsor 20, this is always how it happens. Like I said, people are constantly leaving the company. But within out of that 20, only 12 that join, which like these statistics I totally see every month, only 12 will actually do anything, pretty much anything, like more than just try it out for a week. Sometimes people join, they try it out for a week, they can't sell, and then they just kind of give up like instantly. And it's like they don't even try, or they're just scared to do videos, and they're scared to try something. Of course, it's scary. We all know it's scary, of course. But it's if you're willing and you have a big enough why. I don't really want to get into why, but this all trickles down to why. If you're willing to work, if you have a reason to work so hard, it makes it easier to work hard. But so only 12 will do something. And then within 90 days after, say you recruit, those 20 people, after 90 days, only about 8 of those people will start to look like leaders, will start to look like they're doing something. Maybe they'll hit pink status, or maybe they'll be close, or something like that. But then in about a year, out of those first 20 people, about 4 of them will stay. I cannot express, like, I've been at this company plenty of times, or plenty of years, a little over 2 years. And that's exactly what I see. That's exactly what I see. The barrel ending people that I started with, they just trickle off over time. That's just unfortunately what happens. People realize this isn't for them, or they try it again some other time, or they think that another company will work better. A company is only going to work if you want it to work. That has to go with anything, and you have to believe in what you're selling, what you're sharing about. That's such a big thing, of course. And this one, about 2 majors in like 5 years. You're going to have 2, basically, maybe 2 out of those 20 hit black steps under that type of thing. 2 majors, obviously. I haven't been in for 5 years, so I can't see that one. But the other ones, like, I cannot, like, those are even kind of high statistics for me. But they figured out, I said this before, that 6-figure earners only did this big push, this 90-day run, this recruit 20 and 30 days, whatever you want to call it. It's just some kind of big push, like a big push for 30, 90 days, however long you want to go. I think 90 days is best because you're not going to see instant results. After 30 days, you're not going to see instant results. You have to, and that's what I want to get into, like what Unique does, like what you would do for a 90-day run with Unique specifically, because a lot of this is a general sense, because he just generalizes network marketing. But this video is so great, and I'm just shortening up the hour-long video. But 6-figure earners only did this once, and then 7-figure earners, over $1 million, they did it multiple times in their career. Maybe say like Unique, when they hit green status, you have a big push. When you hit black status, you have a big push. When you hit BS1, you have a big push. So, all those times they're trying to do bigger rank advancements, they are doing big pushes. And that's when you were working, like, to your fullest. Like, if you have a full-time job, every minute you're not working at your job, you're doing it. If you don't have a full-time job, you are working, like, every minute you're not sleeping on it. You can work, in between lunch and all that kind of stuff. And this is not something that you have to at any point do now. This is when you're ready to do a run, when you're ready to do a push, and you can do kind of mini pushes along the way. You can totally get to pink status by, like, say, sponsoring five people in a month, having that little, that's still a big enough push. That's something to get you at least going, get you the ball rolling, that type of thing. But I'm going to explain how to relate it to Unique. Oh yeah, the 6-figure earners focused more on trying to help the people that was currently in their organization, help them, even though they don't want to be helped. That's the biggest thing. I want another book that you guys need to read is Network Marketing, How to Build Network Marketing Leaders. The title's a little bit, you don't have to build leaders to read the book. If you want to become a leader, read the book, because it explains that you have to show the action, and some people just don't show the action. It's a really good book. It's by Tom Big Al Schreider. But that's definitely a really big, good book. So you can't focus on the people that really aren't showing you that they want to. You try to make that focus, but find new people, because you can't make people work. So you just have to keep finding new people until you find people that want to work, and then you want to help with. Yes, I read all that. So a little bit more into Unique. So you can start this literally whenever. You can start this burst of energy, and the way I suggest starting this burst of energy is by booking a crap ton of online parties. Okay, like, if you want to start this now, go message at least like 100 people right now, like, about an online party, and be as about them as you can. Talk about, hey girl, I'd love to try to earn you some free makeup. I got these beauty classes starting next Monday. If you did not see the video I shared from the Australian presenter, Black Status, I don't remember her name, but she was talking about a way, and she said, I gotta find that video now. She said the way that she likes to ask presenters or people, and she kind of is not an asking way, and she gets more yeses that way. She ends with, like, I'll set up, like, I gotta find it and I will post it on our team page, okay? Because it's something like, if you guys know it, come into the chat if you watch that video and you remember what it was. But she says something like, she just, like, says, hey, can I set up an event for you or a group for you or something? She makes it sound like she's the one setting it all, because she is. So, talk about free makeup, you just make it very light, brief, simple. I don't use the word party. Don't use the word party. Makeup class, makeup 101 or anything. Can I schedule, can I put you down for this date? Whatever it is. But get as many parties. That's going to, expand your network. So, like, this, if you're doing like a 90-day run, suggest starting with your parties work your network up and then work into recruiting like the second or third month. That's when you're going to message a crap ton of people and try to recruit minimum of 20 people in your third month. Like, because you easily can, when you are doing massive action of massive online parties and really expanding your network, like I say minimum, if you want this massive action, 10 to 15 online parties for this massive action, then you can just do 5 at a time. But you have to, if you're not having 5 at a time, it's really hard. It's really hard. If you only have 1 or 2 going a week, I can go through my statistics later, of this past, like this year, I've been keeping extra track, like January and February so far. And I think I have 1 or 2 out of 10 usually qualify, and maybe 1 or 2 others have any sales out of my parties. So like if you're having 10 parties, so maybe I have 1 or 2 qualify, so maybe I have a few $100s in sales. If I was to have, say, 3 parties, it could be the 3 that qualify. It could be the 3 that have 0 sales. So you're counting yourself out. Although parties obviously is not for sales, it's for networking, but you're going to be more likely to have more sales when you have more parties going on, like physically. It's just like a no-brainer. And then you're adding 10 to 50 new friends on Facebook from all those parties. And your Facebook's just getting bigger. They're seeing more of your videos. They're seeing more of your posts. You're going to talk to them later on. And then you can add them to your hundreds list. Always have an active hundreds list, basically a contact list. So if you want to start this now and start it with your parties. And then that's going to kind of like front load. So front load with all your parties to make your connections, and then have all those people. And those are future people. Write all the names down. Everybody you add on Facebook from these parties, that type of thing. Anybody who hosted your parties are good people to talk to later about joining. So this is something you can focus on a little bit later. You can do your run whenever you want. Just it has to happen at some point if you really want to have that excelment. Does that any other notes I have before we go to April? Yeah, if you don't have parties, you don't have sales, you don't have new people. Like seriously, always need to have parties. Oh yes, if you have your commitment to 90 days. So you say you choose a 90-day run, or you choose to, hey, starting this month, I will sponsor 20 people. And it could be 3 months from now. You can be prepping right now by making the contacts and stuff. But whenever you have a month or a time frame that you commit to something, commit all the way. If you commit to a 90-day run where you're working hard for 90 days to message people every day, to do the daily task list, I can send you a daily task list and the task list includes like adding 5 people on Facebook, messaging 5 people about the opportunity today, messaging 5 people about the parties a day, having always a certain amount of parties, trying to think what else is on the list, your posts on your Facebook, your daily Facebook lives, that type of stuff is on the daily task list. If you do that daily task list every day, seriously big stuff will happen. But if you commit to doing, say, the task list every day for 90 days, because you will see big action after that. If you do that task list, which can be literally done in between, it's like commenting on your friends' stuff. It can be done in between anything. It's not even like the craziest of task lists. It's not like you're messaging 500 people a day. It's very achievable. I can post it again. I posted before on our team page, but I can post it again. But if you choose to do that, to commit for the full 90 days. If you give up after 30 days, you're giving up too soon, especially a task list like that. That's not even that much. It's a lot of work, but it's not that much work at the same time. And if you have to realize that's to make more connections, to meet new friends, and to build those relationships. And you have to give that time. You have to give that the full 90 days for you to see that momentum, because things take time. Things take time. I hope that was good and helpful. April, you on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, where's your video? I gotta figure out how to pin yours. Where are you? Are you under a different name now? Oh, there we go. I see you. Okay, I'm gonna pin your video. There we go. Okay, hopefully it records you big.
Okay, so you did go over a lot of stuff that I was going to go over, but if y'all don't follow me, I hit green status back in November. I started the 90-day run to green in September. Mid-August is when I actually started doing it. But I joined as a kidnapper, and I actually got suspended and almost went inactive. And then some things happened in my life, and we decided we actually needed this. So I think I saw the post in Michelle's and Kilm's group about the 90-day run to green, and if you're serious, you got to do this task sheet and all this kind of stuff. So I actually made a binder. All right, I still have it. I still work it to this day. I've got my girls working it. And so day one, I started September the 1st, and I literally printed everything out, you guys. Like, I mean, I got notes all over this thing, okay? And it's basically, you do your 6 posts on Facebook. Mine actually has 3 posts on Instagram as well, which I don't do Instagram because everything works better on Facebook for me. Comment on 20 friends' posts a day. Message and thank those who have commented in like your last 3 posts, which I usually did that for share my videos. I would get in their messenger and like actually thank them and let them know how much their support means to me, because that's when you start building that relationship that's so important in this business. And then like the small things, you guys, like wish your friends happy birthday, add 5 new friends on Facebook, follow up with 5 customers, 5 opportunity messages, shout out to 3 of your team members if you have any, and then ask customers to host a party. Now, the last thing on the list is the 10 minutes of personal development, which I actually always started my day with so that I can get in the right mindset. I'd wake up, take my daughter to school, and then I would do my personal development in the car rider line. That way when I got home, I was ready to hit the ground running. So I started this in September, and I actually started running towards pink. I was so close to pink in September, you guys, and it's kind of weird because one of my girls on my team actually has about the same story as me. But let's see, I wrote my numbers down because I knew I was going to get all kinds of. There we go. Okay, so in September, I wasn't focused on sponsoring. I was focused on sales. I was focused on myself. I was focused on promotions. And that's when I kind of had to like change my mindset, because the end of September, I ended at 81% to pink, you guys. Like, so close, but I didn't have anyone underneath me that, first off, I could even get qualified, or that was to that point in their business where they were ready to work it. So I sponsored someone September the 1st. My first person was a kidnapper. And then I sponsored someone September the 28th. And so I didn't have that time to get her developed. Now, October rolled around, and I had like a come to Jesus meeting with myself end of September. So like literally the night before October 1. And I sat down. I talked to myself, okay, why are you really doing this? Are you doing this? Is there a reason behind it? And of course, there's always a reason behind we're doing this, you guys. But so I changed my focus from sales and promotions and me to sponsoring and changing lives, and really offering the opportunities so that people can actually see what this business can do for them. So October comes, and I hit yellow status August the 31st. October rolls around, and I sponsored 9 people that month. And I hit pink. I had 7 of those 9 qualified, you guys. I don't know if y'all know how big that is, but 7 of the 9 that I sponsored that month qualified. Okay. And we hit pink on October the 22nd. And there was like a really light time in my head that I'm like, okay, I hit pink, I'm good. And then like 30 seconds later, I'm like, heck no, I'm not. We're going for blue. We're going to do this. We're going to run. There's so much time left in this month, and we did it. Like, we did not let any setback or any obstacle or anything like that come in our way. So we hit blue October 29th. Now, mind you, I'm doing these task sheets every single day. I've shared this with my team, and they're working these sheets every single day. So what I'm doing starting September 1, I'm starting to see roll out end of October, beginning of November. Okay. And I'm the type of person, I don't do just the bare minimum. So I literally almost doubled everything that was on the cash sheet just because that's who I am. So we hit blue exactly a week later, October 29th. We still had 2 days to spare. Like, I'm over here sweating like crazy that we're not going to hit. And then we randomly hit. So that was like the big turning point in my business when I started seeing some of the the girls that I had sponsored from September and beginning of October, I saw, one promote to yellow. I saw several hit that fast start because I'm starting to teach them what I know. I'm starting to teach them to like really share the products and not put it out there in a salesy way. So November rolls around and like I messaged Kayla and I said, okay, I think we're going to run for green. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we're going to try. Why not? Okay. So I'm still in the same mindset. My goal was to sponsor at least 3 people in November and then get my team to start sponsoring and adding to that. So we ended October with a team of 14 and I sponsored 3 people in November. So I sponsored my 3 people and I sold 5,500. This is the month that I went green, you guys. So the first month you go green, most of your PRS, your wholesale, it's going to come from you. But when you start getting a team behind you, that's when it starts becoming easier. But anyways, way off topic. Out of my personally sponsored of 17, I had 9 of mine qualified. So I have, a good bit of mine actually working. I had 1 go pink, I had 2 go yellow, and then we ended the month with 21. So I've taught my girls to then start sponsoring because they are starting to see the importance of the task sheet. And like this task sheet isn't something we give you just to say, okay, this is your job, this is what you do. No, this is something that we give you to really help watch you grow, not only in your business but also as a leader yourself. And so November we hit green. Like I really thought we were going to be rallying all night long because we were about, I don't know, I think 27, almost 3,000 short of green waking up that morning. I was like, Lord Jesus, how's this going to happen? Anyways, we rallied together. We didn't have to rally till midnight, thank God. We hit it at about 5 o'clock. And then shortly after, like I was on my video, bawling my eyes out, and letting everybody know we did this, we hit green. And then my girl comes on, she's like, I hit pink. And you guys, like when I tell you I cried harder for her than I did for myself, it's an unbelievable feeling. Ooh, Lord Jesus, I'm gonna get emotional. Okay. Anyways, so I think December rolled around and I go back into getting ready. So I ended the task sheet for I think 2 weeks because I was like getting back into just focusing on sponsoring. So I was more so just messaging about sponsoring because around December we're not going to see many sales after Christmas. What am I trying to say? After Christmas. So I focused really on sponsoring, focused on parties. We had a big incentive that month, I think about the double rewards that month. So I focused on parties. You guys, I literally did 20 to 30 parties a week. It was exhausting, but it was so worth it. Very exhausting, but really worth it. So December rolled around. I sponsored 7. So we ended November with 21. December, we ended with 31. We did not requalify for green. And let me tell you something, I was okay with that. I wasn't settling, but I was okay with that because I changed my mindset to focus on my girls. I asked them, what can I do for you? What are your goals? How can we get you there? And that's was my mindset for December. So we ended December with 31 team members. So I added 7 of those, and then my girls added 3 more. So we really just, y'all can see how the trend's going just by working this. And then I had 11 qualified that month. So January, guys, this is where I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know what happened. I got into doing my task sheets. We came in January 1. I think I had like this huge pep talk with my team and like a come to Jesus meeting. Like I have a group chat with all my girls and I posted this daily sheet in there. I'm like, okay, if you are serious about your business, if you're serious, like you want to stay home with your kids, if you want to, like I have one girl that's saving up to buy a house, like if you want to do all the things you say you're doing, you've got to put the stuff behind it. Okay. You've got to party. You got to book the parties. You got to sell the product, and you got to sponsor, like plain and simple, book, sell, sponsor. Okay. And January rolls around, and I had several of my girls running. Several of my girls were running, and we actually had 3 promote to pink in 1 month, and one of those double promoted. So, and one of them came out of nowhere, like came out of absolutely nowhere. Wasn't doing much. The first 2 months that she was in, January rolled around, she like hit pink, and I'm like, wow, girl, where'd you come from? Anyways, so January, it was really weird for me and my business, but awesome for my girls and their business, because where I was putting all of my effort in to them, like there was a point in the time about, I don't know, 5 days before the end of the month, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if we're going to requalify. Like I was so excited for my girls and getting them there. And I think the last couple of days we pushed so hard, like we completely blew it out of the water for all of them. And we ended the month in January. We went from 31 in December to a team of 61 in January. Whereas I sponsored 13 people. My goal was 10. And then my girls did the rest of it. So end of January, I had 2 girls that promoted to pink. Well, I had 3 promoted to pink. 2 of them had a team of 6 and 1 of 7 themselves. So they're starting to see the work pay off, you guys. So that when we talk about a big push, when we talk about something that can really change your business, this is it. This is like the foundation of your business. This is what we do on a daily basis. But it's not hard, but it's not easy. You know what I mean? It's sacrifice, it's work, but it's rewarding at the same time. And I think along this way, so I'm throwing a lot of numbers at y'all, but I want y'all to really see. So from September, where I sponsored 2, we had a company of 3, to where already this month we're at a company of 79. So I'm telling y'all all this to tell you that it is possible. It is humanly possible. Even if you're new and you're watching this, you guys, like, what I can tell you is do not give up. I have a girl on my team that's freaking killing it this month. She has ran for pink November, December, January, did not get it. She is 81% to pink this month and is shooting to double promote to blue because she never gave up. And let me tell you, she was my very first sponsored person. My very first. She has not given up the whole time. And I hear a lot of times, especially on our team, because we have grown so fast, we're all so close. And like where I'm there to help pick them up, they're also vice versa. They're doing the same for me. So I hear a lot about how all these new people, they've been in a week or they've been in 2 weeks or hell, they've been in a month, and they're talking about how they're discouraged and they don't know if they can do this. And I'm just like, what are you doing in your messenger? What are you doing in your back office that you can tell me this does not work for you? If you can literally lay it all out there and tell me that you have done everything you absolutely know is possible, then I might say, okay, but I'm not going to let you quit. You know what I mean? We're going to find a way. Something that works for me may not work for you. You've just got to reevaluate how you're looking at the business. Let me see. I have a whole bunch of notes over here. Another thing that I see a lot, especially with the new presenters, going back to that, is when you start treating this as a business or as your job, then that's when you'll see it turn. Because number one, you're going to show up every single day. You're going to make those posts. You're going to do your live videos. You're going to get in your messenger. Literally live in your messenger, because that's where it all begins. And build those relationships. That's what y'all don't understand. When you're a month in, especially if you've been with another company, you are building the trust in your people. All right. I have literally one family member that has purchased from me. Okay. And you cannot sit there and expect your family and close friends to just continue to purchase from you if they do at all. So when you start treating this like a business and you show up every day, you're building those relationships, and it takes time to build that. Now, some people can find success really fast in this business, and that is amazing, but others, it takes time. You've got to crawl through it. You got to go from crawling to walking to running to sprinting. It's a process, and you've got to take that time, give yourself that time to get there. Let me see. One of the things my girls wanted me to go over was parties and like how I approach Messenger. I know Kayla kind of went over this a little bit, but I think hearing a different aspect might help y'all from a different leader. So when I'm messaging, I don't say I cold message. Okay. I don't call it cold messaging, because what I do is I always, before I message someone, I will go through their profile, okay, and I will look back at their most recent post, whether it be about their kids, whether it be about their dog, or whether it be about their vacation. I'll message them and I'll be like, hey girl, I saw you had an amazing time at the beach. I actually have this opportunity going on right now to where you can earn free makeup, and I absolutely love to set you up a group. Bam, leave it at that. She responds, fine. Awesome. If she doesn't, who cares? There's another one in line waiting for you to just message them, okay? And when you approach it, do not judge a book, okay? I've had so many people on my team that I was like, she would never be interested, but I think I'm going to offer anyways. And guess what? I offered, and some of them joined the same day. Some it took months, but they did it because they needed to hear the opportunity. They needed to hear how it changed your life. And when you put that aspect into your business, when you're not scared of opening up and actually being yourself and being vulnerable, you'll see people coming to you. You'll see them actually, girl, how can I get in this? How can I do what you do? You won't have to reach out as much. But until then, get in your messenger. Okay? Live there. I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say on my rambling. Make sure. Yeah, I think that's it. Just try not to compare yourself to anybody else, because like I said, everybody's success is different, and everybody's journey is going to be different getting to the top, if that's where you want to go. You just got to put in the work to get there. So.
Yes, that was so great. So great. Yeah, seriously, the way she ran, I was in mere shock. And I love when you tell your story. So green in 3 months, especially now, that's such a huge thing. And it's because she really did push, and because she had, again, that reason that she talked about that she needed to push. That's such a big thing. You have to have that why, that reason that you're doing this. And if you push, whenever you choose to push, she didn't push the day she joined. Like she said, she went inactive. Her website went inactive. She just joined as a kidnapper, and then she just hey, I'm gonna go for it. And she went for it. And 3 months later, she turned hit green. That's a crazy huge accomplishment. And the biggest thing, like I was talking about too, and I love that she said the sisterhood that she's created with her team, because so many people have joined in such a small period of time. They can all grow together. They can all work together, and they all have that sisterhood to come together, which is so awesome.